Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in to Larger Curves tonight. I hope you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button if you haven't already on your way in. It really helps me out over here. You know how I do. I just try to come over here and share my thoughts on what's going on with the people in the reality world and how it affects my reality and all of that stuff. And while the ladies on Real Housewives of Potomac are doing great, I wanted to just do this in about 10 minutes. It's going to be a real short live because, these YouTube streets are saturated with opinions about the Real Housewives of Potomac. So I was trying to do something a little different and just do a little summary on my highlights for this evening's episode. So that's why the title is Real Housewives of Potomac Review in 10 Minutes. And as soon as I finish with these hellos and thank yous and I love yous to my curves over here at Larger Curves, all of my swirls, all of my curves, all of my spirals. I don't really know what to call you guys yet. My tribe, like my people, my peeps, um my sestras, my brethren, I don't know. Leave a comment down below. What should you guys be called? Because people be calling other people teacups and winos and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm not biting nobody's style. And Larger Curves is a very specific type of, energy. And the curve, to me, is all about the spiral energy that creates the universe. So, because if you slice a spiral, you end up with the curves. Okay, anyway, so that's just a little bit about my mind and how it works. So, I'm already 3 minutes into this. And so we're going to start my 10-minute review right now. Hey, Siri, set a 10-minute timer.
10 minutes starting now.
Okay, so thanks again for tuning into Larger Curves. Here we go with our Real Housewives of Potomac review in 10 minutes. Oh, no, G didn't is the first highlight. When G had all that to say to Ashley and started with her again about how she looked tired or something. And then Ashley said, what? Yeah, Ashley said to G, what you got, G? Dementia? What you got, G? Dementia? And was really like getting all hyphy with G to the point where Mia was like, where your husband at, Ashley? And Ashley was all, oh, he's at home watching the boys and watching my babies. And Mia said, are you sure? And there was nothing but side eyes at that table. Let me tell you about that. In the meantime, Ray's wish is granted. Almost. It was almost granted. He wanted to see some titties, but Ray couldn't see no titties because when I say Ray's wish was granted, it's because Wendy put Karen in a cake and had her walk over and then pop out of the cake because Ray said before that he always wanted some lady to jump out of a cake. And I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day when Playboy bunnies used to be a thing at a mansion in LA, there used to be cakes for men and women, I suppose, that would have people jump out of cakes. Half naked people jump out of cakes because, you're in your birthday suit is to be naked, right? So you jump out of your birthday suit. No, you jump out of a birthday cake in your birthday suit. It used to be a thing. Anyway, so Ray's wish is granted. And then it's open invitations. Everybody gets invitations with butterflies / moths that are alive. And Ray specifically requested that everybody be sure to open them outside. Now, knuckleheads are knuckleheads, and G and Mia opened theirs up in the house. So they had to take theirs outside. And after they take their butterflies outside, as it turns out, Mia's mamas broke after all, because it comes up that G and Mia went on an anniversary staycation kind of date night, once they returned from the hotel plantation with Wendy, and they went out for a date night, and they decided to ask Mia's mom to watch the kids again. And it didn't work out at all this time, because that lady was calling every minute, to the point where G was like, look, lady, why you keep calling? I thought you was watching the kids. And she's like, these are your kids anyway. And something about the lady broke, like she was about to leave, and Mia got triggered and felt like her kids were going to have to get abandoned by the same mother that abandoned her. It was not a good scene. So basically, she said all the progress she felt they made this whole season was for nothing, because it all blew up in their face, because she asked that woman to babysit her kids one too many times. Now look, that's Mia's fault. Anyway, then we have breastfeeding at the shrinks. Yep, as it turns out, Ashley couldn't wait to pull her titties out and breastfeed, do her weekly PSA on breastfeeding again. And she did it this time at her shrink's office, where she was visiting. Nope, it wasn't for her forehead. It was for, she had questions on, like, how she should try to rekindle romance phase with her husband now, after having now 2 kids. And then we have a scene where Gizelle kicks rocks, where her and her daughters rather, go down to the nursery, and they have plants and stuff to pick out for the landscaping of their hotel Gizelle place. And I think she should change the name of that. But anyway, so they're there to pick out different stuff for the landscaping of their mansion. And the girls basically sit their mom on a rickety bench and tell their mom she's no role model with regard to relationships. Now, these girls are so ahead of the game, if you really think about it. These girls are very ahead of the game with their ability to speak their minds and voice their opinions at such a young age. That's beautiful. That's going to serve them well in this life. And luckily, Gizelle was on camera, so she had to just accept it instead of cuss him out the way it might wanted to do. Like, who you talking to, girl? She might have wanted to say, but instead she kind of sat there with almost the equivalent look of how her face looked when Monique brought out the binder, like it was like kind of shock and hurt, And the girls basically said they don't really know how they're going to be in relationships, because neither Gizelle nor their daddy were examples of how to be in a good relationship. Very moving, powerful scene. And then we have, room with an awkward view. Ashley decided, after talking to the shrink, that she was going to rent a hotel room at the Watergate. As it turns out, Michael used to own it. So she was going to rent a room at the Watergate Hotel, and it had a view. And she gets Michael in there, and he is sitting there, and they're both sipping on Coronas out of the bottle. And she's dressed in a leopard dress, and she's feeding him cheesecake. And it kind of looked like it looked very geriatric. My grandparents rather used to have a convalescent home, and I used to have to help feed some of the people sometime. And yeah, it was giving off that kind of vibe. It was giving off senior hour at Denny's vibe. Okay. It was really icky and not sexy at all. And you wonder how they're going to keep making babies, because it wasn't sexy at all. Oh my God. It was like in your mouth a little bit, actually. Anyway, so because after she feeds them the cheesecake, they start talking about what people talk about on housewife shows when they're alone, which is the other housewives. And then she straddles him after she blindfolds him. She straddles him and then walks him to the room where you hope they had some kind of sex after all that awkwardness. It was so weird and awkward. Oh, but Michael likes a good hotel room. So maybe that's why she took his ass there, because hoping that he would act like she was the last one that he had in the hotel room that wasn't her. But you ain't heard it from me. So then we have one wick photo shoot. Yep, Wendy was having her photo shoot for her one wick candle with her mom and her daughter. So it was 3 generations of Nubian goddesses, and they were doing a photo shoot. When Wendy decides to say, in a room full of people, Wendy decides to tell her mom about how she never chased her dreams because she made it so hard for Wendy to chase her dreams. And this is all in front of strangers. And Wendy's mom, in her matching outfit, got up and walked out, which is fine because that's what needed to happen. Because I agree with Wendy's mom. Don't put me on Front Street, not in front of a room full of strangers, not in front of a room full of strangers with your one wick candle, and certainly not in front of these cameras again. Like, we already went through this at the pumpkin patch, didn't we? When you told me you didn't want to be a professor and all that, Wendy. Come on now. Somebody got dementia. It might not be only G. And then we have an emergency visit with Gizelle. Gizelle did an emergency visit to her own shrink, who we saw in a previous season. And he was just like, basically, Gizelle, you need to be vulnerable. So yes, Gizelle, please let go. Because he told her straight out, he's like, there's a beauty inside of you that comes out when you're actually vulnerable. When you show emotions, it makes you a beautiful person, Gizelle. And Gizelle seemed like she was willing to receive that if it was going to be able to help her girls and also help her, because she really looked hurt by that revelation. Like, she's like, this is not good. She's like, this is bad. This is very bad. Here she thought that being a strong, stoic, single mom was showing her girls strength. And instead, she got told that her strong independence comes off as a vampire and emotionally unavailable. And then they went to what's going to happen next week. So there we have it. As you can hear, my alarm is going off. And so that is Larger Curves, Real Housewives of Potomac review for this week in 10 minutes. How was that? So next week is the finale, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to repost what her dress looks like, because I already have a sneak peek of that. And so we'll be able to see her coming down the stairs in that if you come back and check it later. So in the meantime, I appreciate you stopping by. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit that bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video. I love you. I appreciate you and your time. Leave a comment down below. What did you think about this? And what did you think about this week's show? I look forward to seeing you next time. Peace out.